Hi, this is Amy Lewis with Cisco Marketing, and we're here today on Engineers Unplugged for what will probably be quite a memorable conversation. So I'm here with Matt and with Hans, and we're going to be answering the question, what's big data? So Matt, take it away.
Thanks, Amy. So we've all read the blog post, Hans. We know that this big data thing is just not going away. It has to do with 3 V's, and we can break that down some other place. People dig into that. And we've been tasked with saying, what is big data? But here's what Hans and I want to address today. Not what's big data. Why? Why are we talking about big data? Why does it matter to you?
So one of the war stories right now for me is that people want to have me writing articles, and they want to tell that data has grown so big, and they want to call it now big data as in a buzzword. Yeah. But big data does not equal a lot of data. Please keep that in mind. We got a few types of big data. For me, it's unstructured big files like photographs, media. But the second part is that the thing you do with analytics. That's the thing we want to talk about. So
absolutely.
This is your thing.
This is definitely my thing. We were both digging into the Human Face of Big Data app, which is fascinating, and Hans has a wonderful story about it. But I like that you're getting into the analytics element. But analytics is not really a what. It's not really unlocking not just a lot of big data, but we're talking about the volume, both the volume, the velocity, and the different types, structured and unstructured, all in one place. But more importantly, it's the human element. How do I take this data and do something with it that produces something of interest to the rest of us? So it's not even the why. What are you going to do here? Oh, we're going to talk about how. And I'm excited because he chose green, so you know he's passionate about it.
Yeah, we just talked about the app. It's an EMC sponsored app on the iPad. It's an awesome app. Go and get it. It has nothing to do with what they sell, but it's really about the human face behind big data. And one of the stories in there I want to talk about is reCAPTCHA. Can we have this one first? Let's make this empty. So everyone has to authenticate himself on the internet when he's doing anything else that you want to get logged into something, and you get that CAPTCHA thing. The CAPTCHA is like a swirly word, gives you something like that to authenticate yourself as being a human being, because a machine would not be able to recognize that. Absolutely. The person behind CAPTCHA, the inventor of that, he said, this takes you between 5 to 10 seconds to authenticate yourself. There's a few million people a day that use a reCAPTCHA. Oh, yeah. So if we do this times a million, I got 10 million seconds a day that are not being used. So what did he do with that? What can I do with 10 million seconds? That's a lot of human brain power.
It is.
One of the things machines don't do in the digital world right now is OCR. You know OCR, where you scan a page and it recognizes all the words? It doesn't. Yes. It makes mistakes, and a lot of them, okay? What he did is that I want to translate all those physical books. You get now reCAPTCHA. I hope I'm spelling it right. And the first word is going to authenticate yourself. And the second word, I'm going to say happy, because I'm happy about this talking. This is going to be a word that comes out of a book that has been physically scanned, a physical book that has been scanned, not OCR. You are going to OCR this because you are a human being. And they give it to 20 people. And when you got 20 people doing it, one of them can make a mistake. So we are digitizing physical books by tons a day. This is how you do it.
Yes, exactly. And that's a beautiful element of big data because it brings it back to what the benefit is for people. So another thing that I really like when we talk about analytics is, okay, so we've got an outside observer with a dead marker. looking in on something. Now, what can they do now? So given our example, what can they do with this information that's now here? We can now add this to something like a more interesting database or something that feeds human knowledge. So it's now all of this information is searchable. And searchable information can then lead into an interface that can bring value back to people. Another wonderful example that I really enjoyed from the Human Face of Big Data project has to do with Singapore. And Singapore is taking information from people tapping in and tapping out of their subway system and discovering that they can inform them in real time whether there's going to be a delay to their train system, thus give them a kind of curated experience to how they're traveling around the city. Totally changes people's experience. Imagine if you're on your way to work and you find, hey, your train's about to be 5 minutes late, and oh, Starbucks upstairs, they just brewed your favorite coffee, and they'll be there for you. They're ready to go. And that's an incredible element. It adds value rather than just having that data being pulled around behind you.
If I go to work, I have 22 hours of flight. Those delays, I would have loved to know them on time and not when I come into the gates.
Okay, so we've talked about what. Well, have we really hit what? So what's big data? To review, we're talking about velocity, the amount of how quickly the data is moving. So given the taps again in the Singapore subway system, like taking all that information and churning it as close to real time as humanly possible. You talked about volume, just massive quantities of dictionaries to old manuals to everything. And then volume, velocity, and variability. We're talking about structured and unstructured.
Yeah, and it's exactly the point of today was, why are we talking about this? It is a buzzword, but we need to have some kind of roundups of what it really is. We need some definitions.
Yeah. And the Human Face Project, and as well as just great blog posts from your community members, will teach you all about why this matters to all of us.
Okay, that was awesome. I've had the benefit of hanging out with these guys for the last couple days and hearing some of these conversations in person over bacon, naturally. But this is fantastic. So there's only one thing better than bacon. I think we all know what that is. Unicorns. Unicorn time, everybody.
Hans said he can actually do this in one fluid motion. So I'm gonna let him run with his virtualized abstract unicorn first, and then I'll add some pizzazz to it.
I'll go beyond the buzzword. I'll give you the real unicorn.
Yes. Not just a mythical piece. Ready? Let's get some real-time analytics on this.
Wow. I'm speechless with unicorn. Wow.
Rhino. Pretty sure there's a unirhino. And I'm just going to give it wings because it just deserves the flight. And, well, black is not going to do it well. We need some sort of... All right, we're good.
No, go ahead. Finish up. I'm just saying I think the unicorn had a little too much bacon. Wow. I never know what we're going to get with the Unicorn Challenge. So as always, you can vote on, or just give us your feedback. Is this a unicorn or a unirhino? It's a pretty interesting question there. The Human Face of Big Data, I loved all the conversation. It does sort of extend way beyond where you work. It's really about where we're going in the future, and that is unicorn time. So great job. Thank you, Hans. Thank you, Matt. And we'll see you next time on Engineers Unplugged.